Hey guys, welcome back to Elder Difficulty. This is going to be quest number 5 and this is going to test all of your science roster. Are going to be 15 fights that are going to be path fights, and at the end we are going to go against the boss. That is going to be the new champion Spider-Man Pavitr Prabharkar. So before we jump into that, let's look at the nodes. The first node is going to be 1-2 punch. So every time a science attacker will knock down a defender while they're suffering for a power sting, slow or weakness, you will inflict a non-stacking petrify, and because of erudite rules, each time a defender will gain a power gain while there is a petrify enervator with a suppression applied on them. You are going to gain a fury of 35% increased damage, and you can stack it 10 times, so essentially you can increase your damage by 350%. And to help with that, there is going to be a node that will give the defender power gain. The node is average, so every 15 seconds the defender will gain a power gain passive, granting 15% of max power over 8 seconds. So these are the nodes. It's very simple. Bring in a champion that has easy access to petrify, innovate, wither or suppression, or a champion that has easy access to power sting, slow or weakness. That's almost all of your science roster. So bring in anybody from your science roster, bring your top 15 rated science champions, and you should be good. Now this is a difficult fight against Karolina Dean, because if you don't apply the petrify on time on her, she can go to an SP2, and that is very annoying to deal with. My counter is going to be a champion with auto evade, that is going to be Silk, and you can use her to deal all of that damage. So make sure that you bring in the right champion for this fight, or just keep her to an SP1 and learn to evade that, because you will need that to make sure that she doesn't knock you out with a big damage on the SP2. If you know how to evade the SP2, that is amazing as well, but I like to bring in Silk. Super easy, 1 SP2, 1 SP1, and she is down. Now before we jump on to the next fight, let's discuss what are the attackers I use against what defenders. So here is my Excel sheet. You can check it out. There are quite a few difficult fights here that you might have to plan for early. So the first one was Karolina Dean that you had to look out for. After that, there's going to be a Mr. Negative. There's a certain way to play. Don't worry, I will talk about that later in the video. And also at the end, there's going to be a Maker and also a Mordo. Maker, just because he's a new champion, so he'll be a bit annoying to deal with. And then there's going to be Pavitr Prabharkar, that is going to be the boss. So let's jump into the difficult fights and let's talk about them. Grab something to eat, put some good music on, and grab your phone and run with me through this Elder Difficulty Quest 5. Alrighty, so when you go ahead in this Mr. Negative fight, the one thing you need to know, do not parry him. Let him throw a heavy attack in your block and you can retaliate from that. Now you need a champion that can easily apply any weakness, any petrify, wither, suppression. Basically you have to apply some kind of power gain rate manipulation when the Everest is active, and you can gain those furies. If you don't have them, the fight might take a little longer, but you should be able to take him down quite comfortably. Like Overseer does not have any one of those, so I just have to play him the old-fashioned way. But luckily Overseer's damage is really high, so you should be able to take down Mr. Sinister quite comfortably in the end. Try to push Mr. Negative to an SP2 always is much more easier to evade, and you can also avoid the reverse controls, and try not to parry him. You will notice I did not parry him in all of this fight, and I can avoid the reverse controls, and then it's a very easy takedown. Just make sure that you don't parry and you should be good. Now the next difficult defender is going to be a Mordo. He is the usual pain, as you know that you cannot hit him after you stun him because he is going to evade you. So with size champions there are very less anti-evade options. So I bring in a leader here. My thing was I'm just gonna build up to an SP2 and throw that SP2 out, and when he gains a power gain buff on him, he is not only going to reduce his power, but he's going to take damage, and look at him melting away. So that's why I brought in a leader. You can bring in another champion as well. Just make sure that he has some kind of petrify or some kind of power manipulation so you can control his power. Now moving on to the next fight, it's going to be against a Maker. Now Maker is very new and his animations are also very new, so I am not really good at him. So that's why it took me quite a bit of time to take him down. In essence, just keep him to an SP2, let him throw that out. It gives you easy entry to go ahead and punish him after the SP2. SP1 is really difficult to punish, so that's not going to help you. So the only thing I would suggest here is to make sure that you push him to an SP2 and you bring in a champion that can gain those furies really quick, and that will help you out. I think with Count Neferi I wasn't able to gain those furies quick, so that was a bit trouble for me. It took a little bit of time, but then bring in somebody like with power stings like Spider-Woman Jessica Drew, or somebody like Cassie Lang, and let Maker throw all the specials and take that sting damage so you can die faster. But then again, the fight is not difficult, the animations are, so make sure that you are well aware of them. The one tip I can give you is to push him to an SP2 always. It's much easier to evade and punish afterwards. And the final boss is going to be the new Spider-Man, who is just amazing on attack, Spider-Man Pavitr Prabharkar, but he is really bad on defense. The only thing is that he can evade you 2% for every buff that you have on yourself. So if you just bring in an anti-evade champion, you should be good. You don't need to worry about the buffs. You can even bring in Venom or any of those champions that can counter the evade from Spider-Verse champions, and you should be good. So Red Goblin comes to mind, Venom comes to mind, also your Science Anti-Venom is also another one that you can use, because all of them are going to be good against Spider-Verse champion evade, so you can use that. I'm using an Okoye, and because of the Incineroar he will not evade me, so I'll just keep him to an SP1, let him throw those out. I'm gonna punish them and I should be good. Just be careful about the node here, where you have to throw specific hits so you can keep gaining power, otherwise your power gain just stops. So that's why you won't gain much power. And then also, whenever you will gain a buff with Spider-Man Pavitr Prabharkar's web, you are also going to lose power, because the way it works, every time you're supposed to gain a buff, you gain a spider seal buff on yourself, and that also drains your power. If you get hit by a heavy attack by Pavitr Prabharkar, you are also going to lose your power with the power drain. And also, if you get hit by an SP1, that is also a power drain. Just keep him to an SP1, it's quite easy to evade. Spider-Man Pavitr Prabharkar is mostly an attacker, he's not a defender, so you should have a real easy time with anybody that can counter evade, and you should be good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. I'm gonna see you on the next one, that is going to be Elder Difficulty Quest 6. Bye.